Streaming live now on News8000.com. You're watching WKBT La Crosse. This is News 8 Now, this weekend.
Right now at 10, one person is injured after a fire at a Holman gas station. Good evening and thank you for watching News 8 Now this weekend. I'm Emily Haugen. We begin with breaking news. One person is injured after a gas pump fire at a Holman Quick Trip earlier this evening. Holman Police Captain Frank Garrow told News 8 Now that when responders arrived at the scene on 1550 Holman Drive, the car and pump were fully engulfed. The cause of the fire is still unknown and is under investigation. The injured person was transported by Tri-State Ambulance. The extent of their injuries are still unknown. La Crosse, Onalaska, and Holman fire departments all responded on scene. When News 8 Now was on scene, responders were putting caution tape around the pumps. The Quick Trip store has reopened now, but the gas pumps are off. A Republican-led legal challenge has put President Joe Biden's student debt relief program on hold. The temporary pause means for now the administration can cancel loans covered under the policy, which was set to start as soon as tomorrow. So what happens now? Chris Nguyen has a closer look at what this means for the more than 20 million people who already applied for relief.
On the same day, President Joe Biden touted his student loan forgiveness program.
This is a game changer. We're hearing from people all over the country.
A federal appeals court on Friday put the policy on pause for now, barring the administration from canceling loans, while the court considers a legal challenge from 6 Republican-led states, which are requesting a preliminary injunction, saying President Biden doesn't have the legal authority to wipe out the debt.
Republican members of Congress and Republican governors are doing everything they can to deny this relief, even to their own constituents. Their outrage is wrong and it's hypocritical.
The pause means millions of people waiting for the rollout of the first wave of loan forgiveness will now have to wait a little longer while the program's fate is decided.
This relief is breaking barriers in our communities and in our minds about what we can do with our future.
The program would dismiss up to $10,000 in debt for eligible applicants or up to $20,000 if they were Pell Grant recipients. More than 20 million people have applied since last week. The White House had previously identified Sunday as the soonest day that some borrowers could see their debt canceled.
I want to be clear who's going to benefit most. Working people, middle-class folks.
So what happens now? A lot of back and forth. The White House is still encouraging people to apply for relief at studentaid.gov. The administration has until Monday to submit its response, followed by the Republican response on Tuesday. In Washington, I'm Chris Nguyen.
Lawyers for the government argue that Congress gave the Secretary of Education the power to discharge debt in a 2003 law known as the HEROES Act while George Bush was in office.
Wow, what a gorgeous day across the Coulee region. We had temperatures in the 70s and 80s. Hey, we made it to 81 in La Crosse. 80 was the high in Black River Falls, as well as Sparta, Eau Claire. You made it to 77. Red Wing made it to 73. Rochester made it to 79. Same story in Preston. Outside right now, it is beautiful out there at the 10 o'clock hour. We're seeing temperatures in the 60s and 70s. Look at Sparta, 71. 67 Viroqua, 67 La Crosse, 72 in Winona. Eau Claire, good evening to you guys. You're at 66 degrees. Right now, we're sitting at 67 degrees at the airport. At the TV station, we are substantially warmer. Look at that, 72. Feels like 67. Winds are out of the south at 9 miles per hour. That's the sign of things to come again for tomorrow, as temperatures are going to stay in the 70s. There's a little bit of a caveat, though, in the forecast, and that's rain chances in the evening and overnight hours. I wouldn't cancel your outdoor plans by any means. We'll see temperatures staying in the 70s as we go into the afternoon and early evening hours. That wind will start to pick up. It's going to stay out of the south and southeast. Nothing on the radar scan right now. We have a clean sweep across the area. Now, Emily, coming up in the first alert forecast, you know, they say all good things must come to an end, and I'll tell you when this nice weather is going to end in just a few minutes. Over to you.
All right, sounds good. Thanks, Eric.
You bet.
In more Halloween news, Riverside Park opened up its 22nd annual Enchanted Forest for some holiday fun. It featured all things not so spooky for area families, from a trick-or-treating nature walk to meeting characters and, of course, lots of candy. Over 22 businesses from across the Coulee region participated.
Anytime that our community is coming together and connecting, that's a positive thing. That's something that Scouting is big on, is trying to get our kids and families connected to the community so that we're aware of all the resources that are out there and all the different people that make this a great place to be.
The Gateway Scouts are also taking donations to help with future events. We'll have a link for you on news8000.com. Music to my ears. UW La Crosse's Screaming Eagles Marching Band celebrated the past, present, and future at the 10th annual High School Band Day. Over 300 high school musicians from 11 local high schools got together to perform. Plus, the UWL Alumni Band joined in to make some music. Organizers say having the Alumni Band perform will encourage students to pursue music well after they graduate.
Music is a lifelong endeavor, and I think it's great that our alumni band's here today too, so the students can see that they can keep music in their life forever. There's not a time limit.
The bands played plenty of hits. Included on the track list were songs by Ariana Grande, Nicki Minaj, and Korean pop band BTS. It was all hooves on deck in DeSoto this afternoon. The American Standard Bread Adoption Program held their second annual chili cook-off and walkthrough. This year's event had new additions, including new sponsors and new items for their silent auction. The organization is geared toward helping non-racing standardbred horses find new homes.
We just do it out of love for the animals and also for the children and some adults in the community that come out and have equine-assisted learning activities.
Okay. The ASAP program is accepting donations both online and by mail, and we will post links on how you can help out on our website. That's news8000.com. And area crafters united today at Logan High School for the 33rd annual Logan High School Fall Craft Show. Over 150 vendors showed up with handmade jewelry, clothes, and even homemade spices. This craft show focuses on helping small artists from the region get a head start. According to students, it can also boost these artists' confidence.
I think one of the most important things is it kind of shows people that you can follow your passions. Like, it shows the students that there are things that you can do with art, and there are things that you can continue your lives with, and also just allow students to be more connected to the community they're in.
Proceeds from that craft show will go to fund college scholarships for Logan students after they graduate. Coming up on News 8 Now this weekend, going all out for Halloween. Meet an Illinois kid whose parents have helped him with creative costumes, and check out his latest digs. That's up later. But first, Halloween prices are on the up and up. Experts say the holiday will go back to pre-COVID levels of fun. But more fun could cost you more money this year. How those costs will shake out up next.
Some things make you wonder, what the path? Like career politician Brad Pfaff voting to raise our taxes after promising not to. Then praising another $1 billion in tax hikes on Wisconsin families. Seriously, what the path? Or when he supported trillions of dollars in big government spending, creating record inflation. What the path? Makes you wonder how anyone could trust career politician Brad Pfaff. NRCC is responsible for the content of this advertising.
At Blaine's Farm and Fleet, we make it easy to get ready for winter. We're the cold weather experts, offering the gear and supplies you need to combat the cold, snowy weather ahead, all at fair and honest prices. Like 30% off zero exposure coats for the family. These women's Carhartt vests, $99.99. Get a free pair of boot socks with every snow boot purchase while supplies last. And keep pets cozy with special buy pet bed and blanket sets, just $19.99.
Tim Michaels wants to scare you with lies. Here's the truth. Independent fact checkers gave Michaels' parole attacks a pants-on-fire rating, saying they were false and that the governor does not allow any release of criminals. That's a fact. And here's another fact. Tony Evers actually increased police funding, and he's working to invest in high-crime areas, in job training, after-school programs, and mental health. So when you see all these, do this.
Inflation's eating up all our savings.
Our home value is plummeting. Yet Biden and Mandela Barnes support a massive tax increase on middle-class families. Are you kidding?
Now Barnes supports hiring an army of IRS agents to audit working families. Who needs that headache?
How about Barnes starts worrying about paying his own taxes?
Wisconsin Truth PAC is responsible for the content of this advertising.
Thank you for watching News 8 Now. Expect more.
Americans are expected to spend big on Halloween, the most they've seen since before the pandemic. Michael George tells us how inflation is affecting those prices.
For the last 2 years, Kelly Ryder hasn't been able to celebrate Halloween the way she wanted to because of the pandemic. But this year, she's making up for lost time. Are you going big on Halloween this year?
Really going big. We're doing a lot of different neighborhood festivals. The kids are all going to get dressed up. We're doing trick-or-treating, the whole 9 yards.
The National Retail Federation predicts Halloween shopping this year will return to pre-pandemic levels, with Americans spending an estimated $10.6 billion on costumes, candy, and decorations. But this year it will all cost more due to inflation. Candy alone is up 13%.
We're all in, and I think people just want to have fun again.
Julie Rame, Chief Marketing Officer for Party City, says they're not seeing the supply chain issues that impacted the holiday last year. So there should be plenty of Spider-Man outfits, which is expected to be the year's top costume. And others are flying off the shelf.
Encanto was a smash hit. That's a really big one as well. We have Top Gun 2. My favorite, the Sanderson sisters, get together with a couple girlfriends, do the hocus pocus thing.
Another growing trend, pet costumes. Americans are expected to spend $700 million on dog and cat costumes. For Kelly, it's all money well spent.
Everything is more expensive.
But still worth doing?
Yeah, of course.
For her first real Halloween in 3 years. Michael George, CBS News, New York.
Experts do recommend that you buy your Halloween candy at least 4 days in advance. Well, coming up on News 8 Now this weekend, to the crisis in Ukraine. Russian airstrikes left over 1 million households without power today as evacuations ramp up. The state of that nation up next.
And we have a clean sweep on the radar scan right now, but this is going to get a workout in some places starting tomorrow night. Details in the First Alert forecast on the other side of the break. Stay with us.
In the Senate, Ron Johnson pushed tax loopholes benefiting himself and his donors.
Did my business benefit? Sure. Did some of my donor businesses? Sure.
But here's what Johnson's doing to us. He voted to raise the retirement age and allow cuts to Social Security. Even supports letting Wisconsin ban nearly all abortions and said, if you don't like it, you can move. Ron Johnson works for himself, never us. SMP is responsible for the content of this ad.
Derek Van Orden was on the Capitol grounds on January 6. He broke past the police barricades and was part of a riot that injured over 100 cops. And some of them ended up dying. Now he wants us to believe he's a patriot? Mr. Van Orden, patriots defend their country. They don't try to burn it down.
I'm Brad Paff, and I approve this message.
You heard the Jingle Man, Wisconsin. That means it's time to get a versatile, rugged, athletic SUV that makes you feel like you just won a title. Again. Honda was just crowned KBB.com's best value brand for the 7th year in a row. So get up and go to your Wisconsin Heartland Honda dealer today. Honda gets Wisconsin. Bring it home, Songbird.
Get up and go! Tim Michaels wants to scare you with lies. Here's the truth. Independent fact checkers gave Michaels' parole attacks a pants-on-fire rating, saying they were false and that the governor does not allow any release of criminals. That's a fact. And here's another fact. Tony Evers actually increased police funding, and he's working to invest in high-crime areas, in job training, after-school programs, and mental health. So when you see all these, do this.
Under Tony Evers and Joe Biden, it's been bad, but it's gonna get much worse because winter is coming. That's right. Reports are saying natural gas heating bills are going up by 28%. Inflation has already caused pain at the pump, grocery checkouts, on rent. But this fall, there's still time to stop the winter pain by voting no on Tony Evers before he makes it even worse, if that's possible.
The Board Store inaugural Fall Home Show is underway. A $250 discount coupon is yours just for stopping by to see all the new displays and updates we have made. We'd love to meet you.
You expect more, so thank you for watching News 8 Now.
The Office of Ukraine's president says airstrikes plunged close to 1.4 million households into darkness Saturday. Meanwhile, evacuations are ramping up in parts of the country currently in Russian hands. CBS News correspondent Christian Benavides reports.
Ukraine's military displayed Russian rockets that hit the Kharkiv region, including cluster bombs, which are banned in many countries. Ukrainian authorities want to bring them to the International Criminal Court as evidence of Russian war crimes. Power is out for millions of Ukrainians after recent Russian missile and drone attacks targeting electric utilities.
The damage they're inflicting will make it harder for Ukrainians to heat their homes, find safe water to drink, access the electricity that they need to run everything from stores to hospitals to public transportation. President Putin thinks that these attacks will somehow break the will of Ukrainian people. Instead, he is only deepening their resolve to defend their country.
In the capital, Kyiv, restaurant diners ate by candlelight during a power outage, now a fact of life across Ukraine. President Vladimir Zelensky warns Russia could be planning to blow up a dam at a major hydroelectric power plant that could cause devastating floods in southern Ukraine, including the city of Kherson. Under pressure from local authorities, thousands in the now Russian-occupied city swarmed its ports this week to evacuate. Ukrainian troops are expected to soon advance. In Frankfurt, the first ladies of Ukraine and Germany sought donations for Ukrainian refugee children at the city book fair. The Ukrainian First Lady said Ukrainian kids at home and abroad are missing out on a normal childhood because of the war. Christian Benavides, CBS News.
Ukrainian authorities say an estimated 1/3 of the country is without power. Well, it's been a beautiful day that really has me hanging on to the end of summer, but we're not going to have those 75-degree temps for long. I know. What's the weather looking like, Eric?
Emily, actually, I need a favor from you for tomorrow. I need 4 poles and that hammock that you have. I need that tomorrow. It's going to be a great day to do that. Matter of fact, I'll tell you what, while you're out there laying in the hammock, make sure you have this right here, that News 8000 First Alert Weather app. Take your phone, open up your camera, scan that QR code, take you to this screen right here. Your home screen. 67 degrees is the current temperature at the airport. Humidity just over 100 at 51%. Winds are out of the south at 9 miles per hour. Numbers for today made it to 81 after a morning start of 36. 59 is where we should be for this time of year. We are very close to tying a record. The record was 84. You have to go all the way back to 1947 to see that. Then you go to 1930, that's where we had the record low of 19. So nothing on the radar scan right now. Hey, we've got a clean sweep across the area. We have a stationary boundary that's in control. And I'll go ahead and draw out the stationary boundary. It's right there. You can see the winds staying out of the south. So as long as we keep that southerly flow, that's going to allow those temperatures again to stay in the 70s. And that's going to be the trend for tomorrow going into Monday. And then Tuesday, we have a front that's behind us over towards the Dakotas. That'll be our weather maker, and that's what's going to drop the temperatures with highs in the 50s for the remainder of next week. So when you wake up in the morning, temperatures in the 50s and 60s will greet you. Look at Prairie du Chien. You'll go to 61, 59 Decorah, 58 in Preston, 59 in Winona. Eau Claire, you'll make it to 58 degrees. And here's how we get there. We start the day off with a mixture of sun and clouds for your Sunday. By the noon hour, maybe a stray shower or two just north of Black River Falls. And then as we go into the evening and overnight hours, the rain and maybe some thunderstorm chances really start to ramp up, and that trend continues overnight for your Sunday and Monday. Highs on Sunday. Hey, there you go again. Like I said, hammock weather nonetheless for the most part. We'll see a mixture of sun and clouds with highs going into the 70s. So the balance of the next 8 days, we go to 73 on Monday, 54 Tuesday, back into the upper 50s with basically rain chances for Thursday, Friday, and then next weekend we go to 55 Saturday, 55 Sunday. Right now, the pick of the 8 day, right there, Wednesday. Look at that, mostly sunny skies and a high of 57 as we go into Thursday and Friday. Again, 57, but we'll increase the rain chances Thursday and Friday. As we take a look here at the weekend, we'll go to the double nickels on Saturday, 57 degrees for Sunday. So Emily, the bottom line, if we can just keep the 70s for maybe a few more days instead of they just go away from Monday, that'd be great. As for that hammock, if you can just park it in the weather cave, that'd be great.
You'll see. You'll see. Eric, do you know the musical La La Land?
Of course.
This forecast makes me think of the song Another Day of Sun, which is what we're getting tomorrow.
Yes.
Can't wait. Thanks, Eric.
You bet.
Coming up in sports, the high school cross-country sectionals taking place tonight. Plus, it was a wild scene in Westby tonight. The Norsemen were looking to keep their season alive. Cade's in with the highlights next.
News 8 Sports is brought to you by Mayo Clinic Health System. Whether you need routine care or treatment for a complex condition, Mayo Clinic Health System has convenient and safe options for the care you and your family need.
Dear Exit Strategy, all your pieces are in place. Thanks for being there when I need you most. Always Toyota SUVs. Toyota, let's go places.
Over 800 convicted criminals released. 270 murderers and attempted murderers released. 44 child rapists released. Tony Evers' parole commission has released hundreds of violent criminals early, including some of the worst killers in Wisconsin history. Evers' liberal policies are making our communities less safe. Tony Evers put criminals first and our family's safety last.
Football, hunting, or holiday season, moving, remodeling, whatever the reason, it's time to shop at Black River Furniture Outlet. For sofas, recliners, sectionals, and lift chairs. Great deals on dining room and bed sets, coffee table sets and entertainment centers. Accessorize your home with the area's largest selection of rugs. Or lay back and try out a mattress and adjustable bed. Take home or deliver today. Family and veteran owned, Black River Furniture Outlet, Black River Falls.
When I heard from my doctor, it was my worst nightmare. My baby's diagnosis was dismal, a severe abnormality, and my husband and I decided to have an abortion so our daughter wouldn't suffer. Tim Michaels thinks that decision should have been his, not ours. He wants to criminalize abortion, and if he's elected, women will lose the freedom to decide what's best for them. Tim Michaels is just way too radical for Wisconsin.
Dear Exit Strategy, all your pieces are in place. Thanks for being there when I need you most. Always Toyota SUVs. Toyota, let's go places.
News 8 Now Sports is brought to you by Mayo Clinic Health System. Here's News 8 Now's Kate Overton.
Now, if you haven't been paying attention, Westby Volleyball is the real deal. They've racked up a 31-1 record and went undefeated in the Cooley Conference, but we're up to round 3 of the volleyball tournament, and the competition has been kicked up a notch. The Norseman student section fired up, as always. Westby hosting Spring Valley tonight. In the first, Norseman going right to work. It's Emily Collins with one of her 18 kills on the night, and then it's Kennedy Brigham showing off this strength here. This one's 20-14 Westby, and then the Norsemen make a statement in set 1. Kenzie Stelner joins the party. Norsemen take the first set 25-19. Second set, a little different story. Cardinals coming to play in this one. Collins' shot hits the net. We've got a brand new ball game. We're tied at a set apiece after 2, but in the third, Norsemen back in control. Maddie Comey at the net. She says, not on my watch. Westby goes up 3, and then it's the senior Jada Berg putting the finishing touches on this one. That kill puts the Norsemen up 2-1, and Westby's dominant run continues. The Norsemen are moving on as they get the win over Spring Valley in 4 sets, and they'll face the winner of this one. Aquinas hosting Cashton. Early on, Vivi Dempsey, she's going to find the open corner for the easy kill for the Eagles. And then later, one-on-one on the outside, it's Addie for the Blue Golds, getting the block. Sammy Davis starts to heat up. She drills it into the floor for Aquinas, and then Aquinas just gets it going hit after hit. Sydney Emeth, Addie 4, Amy Hine, Sammy Davis, and Hine again. The Blue Golds win in straight sets 3-0. And up in Division 1, Onalaska fell on the road to Verona, while Holman barely escaping DeForest, winning in 5 sets. And in Division 2, West Salem with a big upset over Dodgeville. All right, and in Onalaska, hosting cross-country sectionals, top 2 teams in the top 5 individuals. Not on one of those teams advance. And look out for the Holman girls. They swept the MVC tournament at this same course. Coming down the stretch, it's the freshman Sabrina Lechner finishing in 7th place. Her teammate Annabella Flips right behind her in 8th. The Holman girls are going to state as they finish in 1st as a team. West Salem also qualifying as a team in Division 2. And then in D3, it's Cochrane Fountain City and Kickapoo Lafarge making it in as well. All right, for the boys, all eyes on the defending state champions Onalaska, led by the top runner in the state, Manny Putz. And he was fine today. He finished nearly a full minute in front of the 2nd place winner, a runner who happened to be his teammate, Blake Bernstad. 3 Hilltoppers finished in the top 10 as Arlo White got 10th. But Onalaska coming up a little short as a team, but I believe they'll still be sending these 3 individuals on to state. As for our other area teams, Mauston and West Salem both qualified during their sectional in Black River Falls. And yesterday, Bangor and Aquinas both qualified as well. A lot of good runners putting on a show next weekend. Should be a lot of fun at state. All right, and look at this. Both Tomah and Holman going on the road in the boys soccer playoffs, taking on the number 1 and number 2 seeds, and both teams getting a win. Tomah winning in penalty kicks, Holman winning 3-2. These 2 teams will face off on Thursday. And then in Division 4 with Arcadia and Aquinas both winning, that means those 2 teams will face off on Thursday for a spot in the sectional final. All right, switching gears to the college level. UWL has won 2 straight road games and are now returning back to lacrosse as they hosted UW Stevens Point. It was also the homecoming game, and what a beautiful day for it. UWL already up 13. Cade Garcia dumping it off to Max Stubendick, and he's going to break a tackle here. Gets a few more yards before he's finally brought down after a 22-yard pickup. A few plays later, Garcia hitting Marco Rakovic in stride, and the tight end takes it in for his 2nd touchdown of the day. UWL up big. And how about some special teams? Stevens Point trying to punt it away, but that's Ryan Bartol in there with the blocked punt. The Eagles finally recover it inside the 5-yard line. Very next play, it's Garcia hitting the other tight end, Will Jostin. In lacrosse, once again, putting on a dominating performance, getting the win 55-13. All right, going up a level, the Badgers taking on Big Ten foe Purdue. First drive of the game, and it's Graham Mertz airing it out to Skylar Bell, who makes the catch for the 29-yard touchdown reception. 7-0 Badgers. Purdue looking for an answer. Aiden O'Connell dropping back and firing, but that's John Torchio picking it off in stride. Nobody's going to catch him. 30 yards in for the score. It's 14-0 Badgers, not even 4 minutes in the game. Still in the first quarter, Mertz rolling out and finding Shamir DK, who fights his way into the end zone for the score. Badgers go into the half with a 21-3 lead. All right, first drive of the second half, O'Connell dropping back, and it's Torchio again, his 2nd interception of the game. He doesn't take it all the way back this time, but the offense would score a few plays later, and the Badgers get a big win over Purdue, 35-24. This offense looks a lot better under Jim Leonard. Braylon Allen doing his thing, finishing with 113 yards on the ground. Mertz 13 of 21 for 123 yards and 2 touchdowns. Also checking in on the Gophers. It just wasn't their night tonight. Minnesota traveling to Penn State for a night game in Beaver Stadium. That's just asking for trouble, dropping their 3rd straight game. And I'm running out of time, so real quick, the Bucks with a dominating win over the Rockets. Giannis 44 points, 12 rebounds. This team is so much fun to watch, but that's all I have for now, and we'll be right back.
A governor's job is to make your life better. But would anything on Tim Michaels' agenda actually help you? His rhetoric is violent.
People should just be ready to get out in the streets with pitchforks and torches.
At his company, women say they were pressured to have sex with their bosses. And he said he'd consider abolishing the Department of Public Instruction. It's a radical's dream, but it wouldn't do a single thing for you. Tony Evers' plan is pretty simple. Create good-paying jobs and bring costs down. That's the right plan for Wisconsin.
Joe Biden took $4 trillion from those taxpayers and he spent it. $4 trillion. And what do we get? We got higher gas prices, higher groceries, just about everything. Brad Pfaff, well, he backed Joe Biden 100% of the time. That's what you get when you spend your career in politics. Well, it ain't me. Let's try something different. Let's cut spending, balance the budget, and get America back on track. I'm Derek Van Orden, and I approve this message.
Oh, great. My wireless bill just went up.
Should have gone with US Cellular. They aren't raising prices on any of their plans.
Seriously?
Yeah, my price won't increase.
Well, that is refreshing. I feel like everywhere you turn these days, prices are going up.
Supply chain got us too. Don't get me started on the overhead costs.
At US Cellular, every plan for everyone is price protected.
You know, I respect a female entrepreneur.
US Cellular, where every plan is price protected.
Breaking news in Dallas, Texas, where at least 5 police officers were killed when they were ambushed.
This was the deadliest day for U.S. law enforcement since 9/11.
Just days after this horrific crime, Mandela Barnes appeared on Vladimir Putin's propaganda news outlet and rationalized violence against American police officers.
Police officers are over-exercising their badges. This probably was a retaliatory attack.
Do you want Mandela Barnes representing you in the Senate?
I'm Ron Johnson, and I approve this message.
I'm Mandela Barnes, and I approve this message.
Ron Johnson caught lying. Independent fact checks call his attacks on Mandela Barnes false and misleading. But it's Johnson's views that are alarming. Johnson supported a ban on abortions. He co-sponsored a bill that makes no exceptions for rape, incest, or the life of the woman. And Johnson said if women don't like it, they can move. The truth is, it's Ron Johnson who doesn't belong in Wisconsin.
Expect more from News 8 Now. Thanks for watching.
Pumpkins, pumpkins everywhere. The Holmen Area Community Center had its inaugural Pumpkin Fest today to help get area families and businesses in the Halloween spirit. Businesses and kids alike were asked to decorate pumpkins to help support them. Families got to go trick-or-treating and costumes were highly encouraged.
It's just such a great opportunity for younger generations to kind of come together with older generations, which is really what we stand for at the Holmen Area Community Center. So this is just really encouraging and very neat to see.
More than 300 pumpkins were decorated this year. And just a state away, an Illinois kid is going all out for Halloween. Anthony Alfano has pulled off plenty of creative costumes over the years, which have gotten national attention. He's been a judge on Dancing in the Stars, Cameron from Ferris Bueller, the Blue Man Group, and plenty more. And this year, he's the bone organ from the movie The Goonies. For Anthony's family, it's a special tradition.
This is what we do it for. All this excitement with the kids and everything is what we do it for. And for Anthony, because look at how happy he is.
The Alfanos have donated 2 of Anthony's costumes to families with children in wheelchairs. Their love and creativity is spreading joy to others. We'll be right back.
Connect with us on Twitter at News8News. Or you can always find us at news8000.com.
Defund the Police radical Mandela Barnes isn't just dangerously wrong on crime. Barnes supported raising Wisconsin's gas tax nearly 30%, while we already pay some of the highest gas taxes in the country. Barnes wants to stop all oil and gas production in America, killing jobs and making prices skyrocket. And while Barnes didn't pay his own taxes, he pushed a $1 billion tax increase on Wisconsin families. We can't afford radical Mandela Barnes. Senate Leadership Fund is responsible for the content of this advertising.
It's Ford SUV season. Time to gear up for changing conditions on and off-road. Get great deals on our most capable lineup of Ford SUVs, including Ford Explorer and Bronco Sport. Both rated 2022 IIHS top safety picks, and both designed to give you greater confidence. Hurry, Ford SUV season will end soon. Now, for a limited time, get $500 retail order bonus cash on a 2022 Ford Explorer and Bronco Sport, only at your Northland Ford dealers.
Here in Wisconsin, you should be able to walk down the street and not worry about crime. I'm Josh Call. As a former federal prosecutor and your attorney general, I've put murderers, drug traffickers, and sex offenders behind bars and kept them there. And I worked with Democrats and Republicans to change the law so rape kits don't sit around untested. I know there's more to do, but I will not stop until you and your family are safe, no matter what neighborhood you live in.
At Blaine's Farm and Fleet, we make it easy to get ready for winter. We're the cold weather experts, offering the gear and supplies you need to combat the cold, snowy weather ahead, all at fair and honest prices. Like 30% off zero exposure coats for the family, Tamarack winter boots, or buy one, get one half off. 50-foot Yellow Jacket extension cords, just $44.99. And this Comfort Zone cabinet heater, only $129.99. Plus, assorted pet supplements are 25% off.
When I started working at Michaels Corporation, Tim was 9 years old.
Tim worked in the trenches for many years when he first started out in this company.
51 years.
12 years.
20 years. 50 years.
Took a small Wisconsin company to one of the best in America.
Tim is really hardworking.
Very good leader.
And he's going to tell you like it is.
Because of Tim Michaels, there are thousands of good paying jobs in Wisconsin.
Jobs that people are proud of.
I wouldn't hesitate for 1 second to jump in a foxhole with Tim.
All right, here's what I got your forecast for tomorrow. We start the day off with temperatures in the upper 50s to low 60s. The clouds and precip chances will increase, though, as we go into the afternoon and early evening hours. Some places won't see a drop tomorrow, so I wouldn't cancel your outdoor plans. Just get a plan B just in case you get under a stray shower or two. The next best chance of rain, though, will be on Monday. Matter of fact, the next 8 days. There you go, 73 for Monday. Then we say sayonara to the 70s as we go back into the 50s Tuesday through next weekend.
Let's hope that rain holds off just a little bit. All right, I know I took a lot of time in sports. I got to plug the Packers. They play tomorrow at noon. It's going to be, the Vikings have a bye, so it's just the Packers tomorrow. I'll have all the post-game coverage tomorrow night because we don't have a show in the evening.
Are the Packers going to be at home?
No, they're on the road in D.C. taking on the Commanders.
Wow. I hope it's as beautiful there as it will be here.
Nope, they're missing out for the Wisconsin weather.
Seriously. Thank you for watching News 8 Now. We'll see you tomorrow night at 10.